Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the behind the scenes of our hackathon. The summit week is now officially started and we're starting with this hackathon here at Heatherwick Studio. We're putting on this hackathon with a company called AECTech that runs these hackathons all the time, but it's hosted here at Heatherwick Studio's Maker House. So we'll be here hacking away for the next 2 days, a few days before the actual summit on Wednesday and Thursday. First of all, what is a hackathon? I get this question a lot. So a hackathon is essentially where we lock a bunch of, we don't actually lock them, but we put a bunch of people in a room for around 24 hours. They basically come up with a bunch of ideas. We have a lightning round. People just stand up, pitch their idea. Then people get behind a few of those ideas. They have to have a minimum team size of 4 people and a maximum of 8 or 9. And so out of that lightning round will emerge a handful of ideas. For this one, we have 7, and all the groups get together, and within essentially 24 hours, they try and hack together a quick demo or idea. So for example, someone wants to turn images into a Gaussian splat so they can experience it. They'll quickly just come up with the idea. It can be quick and dirty, get a demo, make it look like a real thing, and who knows, maybe after they keep developing it and turn it into an actual idea or a product. For this one, we have about 50 hackers, 50 or 60 hackers from all different backgrounds. So we have people from firms that we've invited that are, coders, BIM specialists, computational specialists, and all that kind of stuff. But then there's also students here, there's designers, there's more junior staff. You don't have to be a coder to take part in these. We can have all sorts of different people. So there's all sorts of different teams that will form around these different ideas. I've actually not done many hackathons myself. This is the first one I've done where we're hosting it. But they can be a really good way to meet people, learn new things. Like I said, coming to conferences, coming to these workshops, and hackathons is a great way to meet people, and then you might collaborate with them, and who knows, you might go and work with them at whatever firm they work at. I have to say a big thank you to, firstly, AECTech. I think without them, we probably wouldn't have been able to do this because we took on too much during the summit week. They do these hackathons all around the world, so go and check them out. I think this year alone, they're going to LA, New York, Chicago. They do a lot in the US. So without them, we probably wouldn't have actually done this. They have actually brought the format and the structure of the hackathon. They also provide the prizes, so the winners get a giant Lego Game Boy, which is pretty cool. Secondly, we've also got our hosts, Heatherwick Studio, who have kindly let us into their maker house for the whole weekend to hack away. And we're also down in this gallery where we can check out all the incredible models and projects. And also our sponsors, we've got Motif and Shapedriver, who have put a bit of money into this for food, catering, and some beers at the end. All right, so what's going on now is we've just had the lightning round where everyone pitches a super quick idea. We had quite a lot, there was 16 ideas. And now what's going on in the background is they kind of form little teams quickly around that idea. So the idea has to have at least 4 people. If it doesn't get 4 people, the idea just dies. And you can have a maximum of 8 people in the team. So what's happening right now is everyone is huddling around the idea that they kind of like based on who pitched it. And then they're sitting down, making groups, and the hacking begins. All right, Moritz, tell us what your idea is. Or do you have a team name? Is that a thing?
We do have a team name. Our team name is Grass, 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 Hopper, Hopper, Hopper.
Oh, okay, nice, nice.
So we want to work on bringing, attaching Grasshopper scripts, or also script snippets in general, to objects, instead of having one master Grasshopper script that controls the whole thing, and then letting you compose them very much like Blender modifiers.
Yeah.
So you can imagine you have like different scripts ordered onto an object, and then like the output of the first will be the input of the next.
Okay.
And that you kind of like compose them that way.
So give me an example, like I've got a surface, and you can attach a script that subdivides it or
exactly, for example,
like that?
and that's just a subdivide.
Yeah.
And then you can put on another script that maybe like adds a window or something, and then another script that calculates something like heat gain on that window.
Yeah.
But all of those are interchangeable, so you can like turn off one of them and or like drag and drop it onto another object and stuff like that. So really moving away from one big Grasshopper script into like little chunks that are composable, and you can just have them interact.
Okay.
There's a lot of use cases here. I think one really interesting one is kind of two people working side by side, one who really understands computational design and someone who doesn't.
Yeah.
You can imagine this is kind of like a workflow engine. We have someone who really designs a parametric script to say turn a cube into like a townhouse, the example that you were talking about this morning. And the other person is just placing lots of cubes. So you have a very lightweight geometry in some ways, and in another layer you have much more complexity.
Very cool. I'm very interested to see this work. It sounds like magic, but all good ideas. I like that. Well, awesome. First of all, do you guys have a team name yet?
We have a work in progress name called Grasshopper.
Grasshopper?
Yes.
Okay, nice. There's already some Grasshopper twists on names, so.
Yeah, but it's actually not about Grasshopper, but it's like.
Oh, nothing. You've thrown people off.
So it's very much work in progress, but we were just like it's an interesting name, because why not?
Pitch us the idea. What is it you're going to try and build?
The shorter version is thinking a live semantic graph editor in Rhino, and maybe also based on web. So it's basically trying to build a potentially knowledge graph that can represent like building elements and its functions and like materials, all these like kind of properties. Like everything we can imagine in a building, and we are representing that in a knowledge graph, in a graph.
Okay.
So we can essentially kind of a library that we can see how each element is like related to each other, and how the different properties are also related to like different elements, and how we can view a building as a graph instead of just it's more like a database.
Yeah.
In a way.
So a super BIM model.
Yeah, hopefully it's like a kind of interesting addition to Rhino, and we can see, because usually we move this information in Revit.
Yeah.
Or BIM. And so in this case, we're more thinking of like viewing it in Rhino, and the interesting way to see also is the live interaction, hopefully, so we can see curing information. In the process.
Awesome.
Right.
Very interested to see how you guys develop and hack away. Give us the pitch. What is the idea?
Yeah, so we were talking earlier that usually with projects, like with any architecture projects, data visualization is a central part to communicate with the team, to communicate with the client. And with the current tools, it's a bit kind of hard to control the data and have a certain level of interactivity or like data that you can interrogate. So our plan is, instead of building everything from scratch or reinventing the wheel, we're going to use a library or one of the libraries that is built for a modern web data visualization. In this case, we're relying on d3.js. So our plan is just to utilize all these charts and to connect it in a way to Rhino. So in this case, we're building this kind of overall framework that allows to choose any chart and then visualize it either as a separate UI inside Rhino or on top of the viewport. So the whole idea is to have this live connection between the geometry and all the dashboards. And that's the main struggle, because if you have a fancy Grasshopper script, if you update the slider, you need to manually update the data, if you're using Excel or Power BI, or at least a semi-automatic process. But in this case, it's about this true live connection between geometry and data visualization, but also to have something that looks nice as data charts, but also meaningful, so you can actually read more in depth what kind of information you are visualizing. So yeah, I think we're still figuring out how to do it, obviously, but there's going to be a plugin.
You're only 10 minutes in, basically.
Yeah.
You guys were a quick team as well. You organized quickly.
Yeah.
This was a popular idea.
Probably, maybe. Let's see if we get to the final line. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you guys build. Well, do you guys have a team name yet? Hope?
No.
Pope.
The Pope. From the
the Pope. Oh, okay. Hey.
It's called the Pope.
The Pope. Okay. And what's the idea? Give us the elevator pitch.
We are looking at the C part of AEC, and our project is called Pope. And basically, we're looking at construction worker safety, something that we do not really think about. We always think about cool scripts and visualization and stuff like that, but we want to go actually grassroots, and we want to help out the people who are actually working on the site.
And you were talking about it's like a viz system, right? It's like a camera that identifies
Yeah,
hazards?
it's your phone. You use
okay.
your phone,
Okay.
and then you have a web app, and then all the data goes to the web app, and you can get information live, and you get to know what's risky, what's not.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Perfect. Do you guys have a team name yet?
So it's let's call it FOMO. We can call it FOMO, so fear of missing out, but we don't want to miss out on stuff.
Yeah.
So the same app, so we are building an app which can have multiple use cases, right? But one of the use cases which would be in a city or an internal space would be everyone these days goes on Instagram, sees an image of a space and say, okay, oh, this looks really beautiful. I want to go there. I want to experience the same thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of time you're not either on the same time. If it was an event, you can't experience it anymore, right? So our idea is we are trying to take those memories which are in like 2D, they can be videos, they can be images,
Yeah.
convert them to a 3D asset, essentially processing it through, making it a Gaussian splat or a 4D Gaussian splat where it's kind of like a multiple splats playing in a loop.
Okay.
And then you can use smart glasses or you can use your phones to be in this space while you're viewing those memories or images or the things that inspired you to be
like
in that
that, yeah.
space and then experience it in a similar manner. So we're trying to emphasize more about once the architecture is done, now it's about the user and their experiences in the same space.
Yeah. So basically all your memories can become 3D
Yes,
experiences.
it can be your personal memories or it can be a shared collective memory repository where you can, if I want to see how he experienced it a space, I can do that. And the whole point of being there is being in a space, as in like, even if you're a person, it's not just about the architecture, but it's about, let's say, the temperature that's there, the humidity, the wind, the noises of the background. So to get the full experience of a space, you need all of that. Now, if you can't have the same moment, you can at least have all of that happening in the background. And then you, through this device or like this app, then you just fill in the last piece so that you don't get FOMO.
I like it. I just saw a splat of the studio here.
So the idea is that we will have multiple cameras and multiple people taking pictures of a same space, and then we somehow find a way to match all of these pictures into a 3D model that we can later on experience inside of the space. We can walk around it, or we can actually see like how the people thinks with the nodes inside the 3D space, and basically it's that for the.
And you had a little 3D model a second ago.
Yeah, sure. So here's the constructed.
That's where we are now.
Yeah. This is the second floor of Heatherwick studio, and you can see there's two camera being used to sort of like capture the space, and then this model will try to convert everything into a 3D space. And like later on a Gaussian splat model, so you have a more like immersed experience inside the space. So we're trying to work on that.
Okay, perfect. First of all, do you guys have a team name?
We have a working title which is Spaghettarium.
Spaghettarium,
because we make sense of grasshopper spaghetti.
Okay.
And tame lots of grasshoppers in a terrarium.
Okay, nice. And give us the elevator pitch.
We're going to try to make sense of the knowledge spread out in lots of grasshopper models that computational designers might have on their hard drives. So we look into importing those grasshopper models into a database, into a graph database. And then we're going to actually make sense of it by means of connecting it via an MCP server to an LLM, and then also develop a dashboard, a local web application that allows to explore this data. And what exactly, that's going to be part of this hack.
That's quite cool. So you could basically scan all the scripts in stuff, and then learn like what each script is doing, and like maybe good things, bad things in scripts, stuff like that.
Quickly explore what you have been doing and reuse parts that you might not find anymore otherwise, right?
I like this idea.
Explore the files that your teammates created years ago and no one remembers anymore what's in there. So that's the basic idea.
The most important part, since we're living in the age of AI, you can ask the AI about your database, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Find scripts, ask what's happening, and so on.
Yeah.
Architect, like architect.
Give me the pitch. What is the idea?
Okay, yes. So I'm an architect, and a lot of times when we're doing the initial stages of design, we have to work with consultants, and it's kind of a long process to be able to develop a massing, send the massing to our sustainability consultant as well as our costing consultant. Our sustainability consultant comes back a week later, says you need more glazing for daylight in the space to meet a BREEAM requirement. And then we say, okay, we do that, we increase the glass ratio, but then our costing consultant comes back in 2 weeks and says, too expensive, reduce the glazing.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of this conversation that happens kind of inaccurately over multiple weeks and just a lot of time. And so we had this idea to use an agent system, multiple agent system, where we can kind of train these agents based on basic data, whether it's a brief pack, client brief pack, costing information, sustainability requirements, and kind of argue with each other, kind of like we do in the coordination meetings, live, and adjust a Grasshopper file live.
Yeah.
So you would already have a file set up, and it would go and adjust.
You're basically
sliders
building
and-
AI super consultants.
Yes.
That will get back to you immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we would take it back to our consultants to check we're not getting rid of their jobs.
Definitely do an MEP one.
Yeah.
Because those guys
Oh, gosh.
never get back to you.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not.
All right, the guys have been hacking now for around 5 hours. It's about 3:30 on day one. So we're just going to go around and get a quick 1-minute update to see where they are, what the problems they have, and how they're feeling.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. We managed to explore a bunch of different ways to display the graphs in Rhino. So, like as a very simple mock-up, this works already. And now we're focusing on like the harder bits, which is basically bridging the data from Grasshopper or Rhino to the web app.
Okay, nice. How are you guys feeling? You feel it's going well? Starting to
Slowly
panic?
progressing.
Yeah. Yeah?
This is our first meeting after the initial brainstorming. We had approximately like 2 hours, 3 hours to do some very early concepts, and now like every person was focusing on a different thing.
Okay, nice.
Different part of the whole equation.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of reviewing what.
Okay, so you had your own like lightning session, and now you're smashing it together. All right, give us a little update. How are you guys getting on? Problems you're having? Things that are happening that are good? Where are you guys at?
So I think we're progressing well. We need to redefine our problem from time to time a bit and how deep we want to go, how much data layers we want to add. But otherwise, going okay.
Yeah? Are you feeling you're panicked to finish tomorrow? Or?
Slowly creeping up now.
I see some yeses. Okay.
Yeah, sun is going down, panic coming up.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It is coming down. Do you think you'll stick around, or will you filter home and regroup? What's your feel?
Let's see how it develops, but I'd vote for sleep, so.
I like it.
Yeah, lots going on, I think, and in all different directions. So we're tackling it in a couple of different directions. So kind of gathering the data, processing it, interpreting that, but then also kind of the visualization. So
So
we're still in the spreading out and doing a couple of parallel things at the same time.
How's the feeling? Are you feeling panicked, excited, relaxed?
It's pretty good actually.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Yeah.
You feel good?
We had some aha moments already. That got some nice visualization going on. Yeah.
Right now we're trying to create like the map of like this space, because this will be like the example space.
In here,
so they're creating like the assets that we're going to be able to like share in the space, and then I'm working on like a way to actually like scan the space and be able to like anchor these assets. And then once we do that, everyone will have like this like a session. We'll be able to like drop assets, everyone's gonna see them, it's gonna be synced across like different users, and then we have like notes and sharing. So basically we're all experiencing the same space. We're all dropping assets, virtual assets, but we all have access to them as if they were physical. So we can all see them.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you getting on? In time?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to like deliver on time, yeah.
We assembled a library of Grasshopper documents for testing.
Yeah.
Like around 350.
300 Grasshopper
and
files. Nice.
we can import them into our database already. And we have a documentation of the data model, and that has been used to create a first draft of a web app.
Yeah, so the other part is a web app where we can explore the database, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So we're working on that. We connected that to the database now, and now we're working on rendering the information from the database in the web app,
okay,
so that you can explore your files, see how they related, which plugins you use most, what kind of stuff you do like often,
nice.
and this kind
All
of stuff. Yeah.
Info and data. How are you guys feeling? Like it's coming along? Stressing? Or
no, it could be worse.
Could be worse. I think everyone's feeling pretty confident. Good things, bad things, problems.
All right. Well, where we are so far, we've divided into a bunch of teams. Some people are working on the Grasshopper scripts. Some people are working on agent creation, document creation. So we've made a plan, subdivided, and now we're kind of working on each individual component. Haven't found any problems yet, but they may arise when we come back together. We'll have to see about that.
That's good. You seem quite organized.
Yeah.
Do you feel stressed behind or you're coming together?
Sweet. Yeah, so we have been working pretty hard. We have a good MVP right now, I think.
Nice.
Doing some mock-up designs in Miro and figuring out what we want it to look like, give a good user experience in addition to a good practical experience.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we're working out how we should interface with the Rhino UI and figuring out where it belongs in the UI, how people can find it. And then also, a lot of it is data pipeline now. So how do we get one script talking to another? What do we want the users to be able to pass into scripts? How do we want them to get outputs? Should they be able to save files? Should they be able to bake geometry along the way? All of those are the questions that we're coming up with right now, and how do we deal with those steps as we go down? Because we're trying to build modifiers, right? So each modifier has an output and inputs, and so figuring out how to get those to talk to each other is really the big crux right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling? Confident, stressed?
Honestly, I think we're feeling really good. I don't want to speak for everyone, but
it's actually the reoccurring theme. I feel. Give it another couple hours. I think.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock at night here, so we're sort of at the end of the day, but we're actually in the middle of the hacking day. So these guys have been hacking since about 11, so we're now 7 hours in. They're starting to get little prototypes. We can see things on the screen of the little test demo. So we're going to go around, check out the screens, and see where they're at.
All right, so we want to give you the ability to attach multiple Grasshopper scripts to objects directly. So we have this new tab here in the objects panel, properties panel, and then you can add modifiers, is what we called it. So for example, you can add a twist, and that will twist that geometry.
Oh.
But instead of giving you this geometry as a baked result, you still have this original box as a reference.
Yeah.
And then you can open that twist and you'll see there's like parameters that you can change. So it's kind of like a Grasshopper remote.
Oh, man.
And you can update that point, right, to a twist at a different point. But then you can just keep going and add other modifiers. And it's very much inspired by the Blender UI. So now we have the move modifier. We'll just move that.
Move it up, yeah.
But also the move modifier can be influenced by the output of the previous modifier. So the twist Grasshopper script is actually not just outputting a geometry, but also some values that we can reuse later. So now we have one slider here that doesn't just control the twist, but also the move. Right? And so this way we can like layer them. And then at any point, you can just click the edit button and it will open up this modifier as a Grasshopper script. And you can see that the way that we did it is the group that is called inputs can hold different params that then populate here and refresh. You'll see the new parameters show up here.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and the same thing is true for the output. And so this way you can, really orchestrate these objects. And then another thing maybe that's cool to see is you can use the modifier solid difference if you want to cut out something, pick a geometry like this one, right? So now if you move them together, you can see it's cutting. This is cutting into our modified geometry. Or we can add modifiers here, like another twist, and it's still using the unmodified geometry to do the difference, but we can just change that with a little tick here, and now it's using the modified geometry. So like it's really just infrastructure at this point to build sort of more complex interactions without having one big master Grasshopper script. Wait, I need to update the twisting point for this. But instead having like a lot of little scripts that you can have interact with each other.
So what I'm trying to do here is to use minimum amounts of data, and from these data like imagery or video, short videos, we can try to use that to create an immersive space of the space that we're in right now, which is in the second floor of Heatherwick studio. And from that same kind of framework, we will try to create a like totally new space from AI generated image. We created a few multiple views, and then we try to turn that into a new kind of space.
So what we created here is basically like a multi-agent system where we have an LLM that has multiple agents that work on a specific aspect of the project. So each agent is responsible for a specific domain. For example, one of them is dealing with sustainability, one of them is dealing with the project brief.
Right.
So all of them discuss on the key parameters that we also input, like the project cost, the total area that we need, and then they're here. If you see, they're currently figuring out the weights that they need.
Yeah.
So how much weight for sustainability? How important is the design? How important is the cost?
Yeah.
And then they are debating on which should take precedence. And in the second round, there's this mother agent of sort where it combines all the other inputs to give a final result, so that it's not biased by any means. So it's a proper discussion. In the machine learning world, they call it the council.
Yeah.
So it's like a council that comes to a conclusion.
Nice. So
Then,
you're creating the arguments.
yeah. And this information, the final weights, are sent to Grasshopper, where it is being used by the policy optimizer. Yeah.
Okay. I see it coming together now.
Currently, the UI is very ideal, as you can see. It's already made on paper, but on paper, what it's going to be is so. On the left side, we have the chat box so that the user can chat to the main agent that it's actually telling its requirements for. That it's telling, it needs to prioritize CO2, or it needs to prioritize maybe the amount of light getting into the building. And then in the middle, you'll have the council of agents, which will be the agents which are actually having the conversation about what we need to prioritize, what weights we need to prioritize in order to run the optimization correctly. Maybe if we have enough time, we'll also make it so you can adjust what types of agents you have. So, you might want a sustainability agent, but you also might want a CO2 agent, which you didn't plan for before. So you'll be able to take them here, and they'll appear around the table. And then
okay, so this is
literally a round table with with the people, and they'll be arguing on the table. And then and on the right side, once they've argued and they figured out what the weights are that they want for the optimization, we run the optimization algorithm in Grasshopper. We optimize for the parameters, and once we have the output parameters, you will see the 3D render change. We'll get the Rhino render also in the UI, so you can see it in live mode. You'll have the slice of the building, and you'll have the 3D model. It'll change in real time, and then if you don't like something, or if you felt like you wanted to consider a different optimization, like if you want to consider a different parameter, like maybe you also, you just cared about anything else, you then go back and you talk to the chat box again.
Yeah.
And you iterate this whole loop until you're happy with the product.
I can see the pieces now coming together.
Yeah.
We got this pose estimation after the analysis of if something is going wrong.
So what is that? That's a dude.
That's that's actually someone we scanned.
Stick arm. Okay.
And then it's marked as a warning. So for example, a medium warning here that it's, we are not done with the text yet, but it will detect why this is a warning, because probably this person is doing something bad for their posture. And if we're talking about construction, this can be really important. And now we're talking if this should be the timeline of a project. So you can map the different warnings you have throughout a timeline of a project.
Very cool.
So that's, and we used 3JS to visualize this 3D data.
This is like the table and stuff, or is that what?
Yeah, we're still refining this, but it will be a 3D scan of the space, so you can understand where exactly this happened.
Most importantly, have you named stick person?
Our name is actually Pope from
that's the Pope.
Posing People.
Okay. Nice.
That's the Pope.
That's the Pope.
Yeah, so this is a 3D video we recorded by strapping the iPhone to my head. And then we have rendered this as a point cloud representation of me here walking around in 3D space. And we think that this can be used, by workers on site to model their behavior and catch risks and other things before they happen.
So basically we have enriched the data connected to a Grasshopper script. We analyzed the Grasshopper script with an LLM and we classified and add a description and show a simplified data flow and then recreate the Grasshopper script in this web app where you see all the nodes and all the connections. And the nodes are colored based on their function. So it looks promising. And yeah, we're going to add the conversational bot, hopefully, that allows you to query the database even more freely. And working on that.
That's pretty cool. Already got a good prototype.
Yeah. Prototype up and running.
Cool.
Here, for instance, an overview of all the categorization of all the scripts that we have analyzed in our database. So you can see that most of them are about geometry, then some fabrication, and then optimization. It's just a few of them.
Plugin,
and then the plugin popularity.
Okay, so basically what we're trying to do is to evaluate some model scores. So you usually have a well-modeled Rhino model, respecting all standards, and you have ones that are not so good. So we're kind of trying to classify those. And this application uses a graph and structure to kind of evaluate that and give the models a score. So what we aim to do by the end of this, if you're successful, is to have a good model, a bad model, parse to the app, and afterwards give it a score. And ideally, the worst model will get a lower score, the good model will get a better score.
We have been trying to make this connection between the web server and the Grasshopper data. So we got to that point where it's the script is linked to live geometry inside Rhino, and here we have a glimpse of the dashboard. It's still not in the viewport yet. This is the next step. But for now, if you manipulate the geometry, this will essentially have this interactive chart, which is showing the different spaces that have different clusters, and until we get the bitmap running.
So that's. Are you looking at area, or is that?
This is a tree map representing the different area of spaces.
The spaces,
yeah, exactly. Okay. And they have the different clusters. So they have one cluster for, let's say, residential versus industrial versus commercial. Okay. So every space has a tag per se, and it helps to cluster the spaces based on their tags. Yeah.
So some of these guys will stay for up till midnight. Some will stay for the whole night. Some will wrap it up at 10 o'clock and get a good night's sleep. But they have till 11 o'clock in the morning, so they have roughly 14 hours left to hack away, prepare a presentation, and deliver the presentation. All right, we are back for day 2 of the hackathon. Came back about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's now 10 o'clock. As you can see, the teams are back hacking away. Some of them stayed till around 2 a.m., but actually most of them kind of left before midnight, so not a crazy all-nighter, but they're now rapidly trying to get their presentations together in 1 hour. They have to submit their presentations and their idea to present to the jury, and then we'll pick the best hack. But before we do, let's just go around and see where they are this morning. Where are you guys now? Are you feeling confident?
We're feeling confident. It depends on the team members, I think, also when we finished up, because some were working more later yesterday here, some continued also at home, some came more earlier, so we spread the work around the team, but we're kind of done on time, we would say. We have some few small updates to finish up, but we are ready. Yeah, we are ready for the presentation on time.
Yeah, you got 40 minutes, 35 minutes to spare.
Yeah, so...
Perfect. All right, I'm looking forward to your presentation.
We're all here. That's a good start for the morning. Harry was here till 2 in the morning. The rest of us went home. But it's almost all together. We've just got to tie up the last few bits, but we're on track. I think we're going to make it.
Yeah. You're just wrapping up. So presentations submit in an hour or so.
Yep.
You guys good? You feel confident? I see a lot of hacking away still.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I think we left around 8 yesterday.
Okay, and, that's pretty good. That's healthy.
Yeah, with a good conscience, because we were in a good level, and now we're just like doing the fine polish.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty happy. Yeah. Do you want to add something?
And then what's it called? Spaghetti.
Spaghettarium.
Spaghettarium.
It's where your spaghetti code lives, right?
Yeah. I really like this. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
to see
you should be. Should see the presentation later. It's going to be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're almost there, but we still don't have the final app ready, which kind of brings in our 3D into augmented reality. So we have an app which can just place an object, but not our object right now.
Okay.
So worst come worst, we just say, okay, this is the splat, and eventually you can put this in the app this.
You can show the working down.
Yeah. So we do have the working down ready. We have some splats and the concept ready, the narrative.
Yeah.
It has evolved since we last spoken, from just purely user-based to actually what you can also use in practice. So I think our narrative now makes more sense to us.
And what time did you guys wrap up last night? Were you late or was it?
We left at 8.
That's okay. That's a good level.
Yeah. So because we believe in the idea, we it can work. It's not like we have to prove that it works. We just want to show how the application can kind of like bring more meaning to what we do and help us do stuff.
So we wrap it up around midnight yesterday. So it wasn't a late one. It was a very nice one. So the team's basically been pushing really hard. So we got some people are still working on the technical side of things, while other people is working on the presentations, like organization and stuff like that. We got to a really good point yesterday when we were quite happy with the technical results. So we started working on the presentation in parallel, as these things go. So we got something kind of like working, potentially a live demo coming. Lots of...
How did the duct taping of the phone experiment go?
That went well. You mean, I guess,
you're
talking about the wearable, no?
Yeah.
That we just developed during the hackathon as well.
See?
Yeah.
It works though.
No, it's fantastic. We probably presented as part of the project as well.
Okay, I like it.
So it was really good. So we had the chances to work with like physical world interactions, kind of like shifting towards the digital world now, and hopefully we just got something that we're proud of. So all good.
Sure. Our team wrapped up last night about 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. Nice.
All the code has been pushed to GitHub. It's all working and tested, and we're just polishing up the presentation.
Okay. So you're feeling good? Feeling confident?
Feeling pretty all right. Yes.
Okay. Amazing.
The team started trickling out, I think, just a bit after dinner. Your pizza put some of us to sleep.
The pizza did the opposite.
Yes, motivation is but this morning we've just been taking a good look at what we've done so far, talking about the right way to show it off, and just seeing how many nice demo videos we can put together. It's
nice.
We're
feeling good.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Some cool tech happened, so a lot of code got made, and hopefully something interesting to show in just a bit. So.
I'm excited. Looking forward to it. Pencils down. Stop hacking. Stop what you're doing. Wrap up the presentation to submit in 30 minutes. So at the end of the hackathon, the main thing is the presentation. So each team presents for a maximum of 3 minutes, and they present in front of an incredible jury. For this one, we had Martha Siguri from Foster & Partners, Matt Jizik from Motif, Shajay from Zaha Hadid, Ami from Benhoy, and Pablo himself from Heatherwick Studio. Alright, so first off we had Parallax. They transform images into immersive, location-based experience, allowing users to visualize architecture across past, present, and future. Spaghettarium turns grasshopper scripts into structured knowledge. This is really interesting, but it reveals patterns and insights hidden inside all your grasshopper scripts. Data Muncher, they bring real-time data visualization into Rhino and Grasshopper, so you can actually act on live data as you design. Modeling People uses AI-powered pose estimation to analyze human behavior on site, to enable real-time safety insights and risk detection to prevent accidents. Grass Hopper reimagined Grasshopper as modifiers, a bit like Blender. So instead of having a script, you can apply that script to the actual geometry itself. Autograph transforms architecture models into live schematic graphs, revealing the relationship between the geometry and the data in real time. Finally, Keeping Up with the Consultants uses multi-agent AIs to simulate stakeholder collaboration, optimizing design decisions in real time by getting AI agents to essentially argue with each other about the best solution for the project. After the presentations, the jury sits down privately to discuss and argue who they thought were the best products. We had a few different categories and a few honorable mentions. So first up, we had the most impactful. This is the one that you could imagine being used in an office tomorrow, which is Grass Hopper, the idea of adding modifiers to geometry. This was a really cool one, and I could totally see this being used in an office tomorrow. Winner's the most impactful. One Game Boy. You didn't all get Game Boy, unfortunately, but how do you feel? Post-match reactions?
Honestly, pretty good. I think that we delivered pretty close to what we theorized from the start. We spent a long time figuring out how we wanted to implement it, and seeing that come to fruition, it was a lot of work. The code base is a mess, so if you go on GitHub, just close your eyes. Don't go on GitHub, actually. But we really took what we thought was the best parts from Blender and the best parts of Grasshopper, and we tried to merge those into one combined thing and create these modifiers for Rhino. And some features, if you know Blender, will be a little bit different, but we thought we've tried to tweak them in a way that is a little more user-friendly. And your first hackathon as well?
Yeah, my first hackathon. Super fun, super good energy, great team. I like that we were a small team.
Wait. Sorry, my megaphone's getting in the way.
I like that we were a small team. I think we really came together well, and also building something that could have been built 20 years ago. No AI, nothing crazy new fancy, but just like really thinking about how people actually use the tools, and then like finding small things you can do there to make it more useful or something. I think that's an interesting area.
So the jury really debated everyone, but they felt yours was the most implementable tomorrow in the office, and they can actually use it, which I thought I could also relate to. I could see people using that tomorrow.
I got pretty excited when they started talking about MicroStation or leaning into nostalgia and remember when. Yeah, it was really it was good. It was fun. Yeah. But you're the Blender guy. You were all this is the thing that has been out there for a long time. But yeah, it was a good time.
Perfect. Thank you for hacking. Best collaboration. So this was the team with the best vibes and working well together, which was Team Pope. They really had a cool vibe together. They created a really cool prototype, and I think this was a big idea. They just didn't have time to fully execute it. So you guys won the most collaborative team. I think the jury felt like you guys had good energy, but you were also, in the mix for the other categories as well. I think it was really impressive.
Yep.
How do you feel? What's your post-winning?
It feels great. It's been a great hackathon. I think the prize is well deserved. We did collaborate and we did enjoy each other's company and gather learnings from each other. I think we spent almost 2 hours at the start of the hackathon, just pen and paper, piecing everything together, roundtable approach. I think that was really good.
That's such a reoccurring theme. People, now it's easier to hack things. Spending more time on the idea is really valuable. And I thought you guys were really thoughtful about that. I think duct taping your phone to your head won that most collaborative, innovative prize. And finally, the winner's autograph. There was a lot of deliberation between the teams, but this one took it simply because of the large idea. If you could actually get this to work, this would be really game-changing. And finally, all the judges agreed on this one. All right, best overall, the winners of the Game Boys. How does it feel? It's like a pre-game, post-game match debrief. How does it feel? Were you expecting after you saw the others?
Actually, yeah, I mean, we didn't expect to, so we didn't expect to really win. I think we just really enjoy the process.
Yeah.
I think that's also some like idea we also quite interesting, and I think everybody really contributed a lot to make this happen.
Yeah.
So I think it was also a great teamwork, and also it was a really fun process.
I think the judges did debate a lot, and a lot of people really liked yours. They could see it, the bigger vision of where it could go with it. I think that was the thing, that the idea was the thing that was like, could be much bigger as well.
I think also for us was the most important to kind of get over, because we didn't have the most impressive tech, but more the vision how it binds into and could change and transform things.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Now you can code things very easily with vibe coding. The idea is more and more the important point. All right, so that wraps up our very first hackathon as ATN. It's one of many for AECTech guys, and huge thanks to them, because honestly, without them, we probably wouldn't have been able to do it. It has been incredible to see what all the guys have built in less than 24 hours. It really shows the magic of what happens when you bring people together. They spend some time solving a problem and putting their heads together with a bunch of really smart people. I think one thing that came from this, which I think was really interesting, is now it is easier to hack and make tools, or, you know, as a designer, you can come up with that render or something really quick. Everyone keeps asking me about AI and is it going to take over, but I think this is a real, you know, proof of this, that the ideas are becoming more and more valuable, and AI just enables you to get there quicker. This is our first time documenting a hackathon. If you've never been to one before, you can also check out AECTech's hackathons that are hosting. They've got a whole bunch, particularly in the US, and they should be back next year for Shaped Fabrication. Also, a huge thank you to our sponsors, Shapedriver and Motif, for funding parts of this. We got to keep them fueled with pizza, beer, and all kinds of other things, so thank you for that. And of course, thank you to our host, Heatherwick Studios, which has proven to be an incredible place. Here is the perfect space for hackathon. Down in the exhibition space is incredible to just break away. Hopefully we'll do more events here. So a big thank you to the Heatherwick team. As always, if you like this episode, give us a like and subscribe. Share it with as many people as you know. The bigger the channel gets, the bigger the things that we can do. So thank you. And for us, the next stop is the summit.